Hi Gemini, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 8th through the 14th of November. I'm going to be doing love first, then career. I will timestamp below. Let's just discuss a little bit of the general energies going on in the sky. We have 4 things I wanted to talk about going on this week. Depending on where you live, the 10th into the 11th, we have Mercury entering Scorpio. And for you guys, it's going to be happening in the 6th house. So you have 2 things happening in the 6th house for this week. So we have Mercury entering Scorpio, but we also have that new moon in Scorpio energy also in your 6th house. 6th house has to do with your day-to-day work environment, your day-to-day in general. It also has to do with your, especially physical health, but also your overall health. So, of course, that's also going to encompass your emotional health, your mental health, obviously, right? And when we're dealing with Scorpio, Scorpio is all about diving deep and understanding that there is change happening here. There is transformation happening either with your day-to-day work experience, just with your general day-to-day, how you show up and you put your feet on the ground. Where are you putting your feet on the ground? That kind of energy. Also, 6th house also does rule small pets. So some of your pets might be going through some changes. So make sure you take them for their checkups. But this is not a bad thing, guys. It's just there's change going on here. Now, at the same time, we have on the 12th, we have Jupiter is conjunct Pluto and Capricorn. This is happening in your 8th house. And remember, when I say conjunct means working on integration. So Jupiter is about luck and expansion and moving forward with integrity, right? That's what Jupiter rules Sagittarius, right? So that's what Jupiter's about, right? Luck, expansion, integrity, all of that stuff. And it's in Pluto. Pluto is the landlord of the 8th house. Well, Scorpio is the landlord of the 8th house, but Pluto is the modern ruler. What does all that mean? Pluto's all about transformation. So Pluto rules Scorpio, and we have all this other Scorpio energy going on. So guys, having it in the 8th house, I think, honestly, this is great for if you're in a relationship and it's like you're in this space where you guys have to figure out money together, where you have to figure out where you're going to go as far as living. If great energy to work on intimacy, great energy to work on just combining not only resources, but how you guys actually communicate. So really good energy for that. Great energy for like business partnerships is too. When I say great energy, to be a little more specific, you're going to be figuring things out because at the same time we have Mars stationing direct in Aries in your 11th house. And 11th house has to do with friends, but it also has to do with goals and wishes. So I feel like for a lot of Geminis, there's going to be this forward movement in this area, 8th house areas that has to do with it is one of the relationship houses, right? My money versus your money, my communication skills and what I bring to the table versus yours. It's all of that. But the 8th house is also insurance payouts. It's also about inheritance. It's about your partner's money, but how you guys blend it. That when I say partner, that also goes for business partner or anyone who you have like a shared soul purpose with, where you guys are creating something. It also 8th house also rules the stock market. All right, so this could be a very good energy for that for you. Any sort of investment, it could be really good for you because there's going to be this finally with Mars finally stationing direct. Remember, Aries, it's stationing direct in Aries. Aries is all about fresh path, new perspective, let's go. But remember, when any planet is stationing direct, it's really heavy and very strong. So for like a week or 2, it might seem really stressful, but on the other side of this is going to be like this, finally we can move, for God's, because Mars has been in there retrograde in that 11th house of goals and wishes and even friendships and things that we associate ourselves with, right? So that is what I see. That's what's happening as far as the astrology goes. But let's see what's going on with relationships first. I'm going to pull Island Time Wellness to give our crowning. So we're starting off good, Gemini. We have passion. Insane chemistry, like each other equally, having fun. Paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. Heart with the key. Welcoming love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together, perfect. Guys, remember, it's not always all of the qualifiers. That would be kind of ridiculous. So what I'm seeing here, because we have passion and paradise, we have healing heart, we have seduction, some sort of third party interference, and then we have heart with the key, opening your heart, getting together, perfect. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of healing here after a situation where there was either a third party interference or there was some sort of outside influence. If it wasn't through a third party kind of situation, it was a temptation to do something that was not going to ultimately serve the relationship. It could definitely be, now Gemini, this could have been you, or this could have been them, this could have been a little bit of both of you. This could even be a leftover residual energy that you're still trying to work through, but I see healing here. I see you guys being very attracted to each other. I see you guys enjoying each other while healing, while getting together and opening your heart and healing that heart. Okay, I'm feeling like that for many of you. For others of you, you may be in this space where you're very attracted to someone. Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, I just see something being revealed where there was some sort of imbalance in the situation, because when we have addiction, it's imbalance. That could have to do with the seduction. So maybe somebody was just not very responsible in the relationship, whether they did or didn't cheat. I don't know, or maybe it didn't have anything to do with cheating. It was just not serving the relationship in a particular way, but you guys getting together and figuring it out. I feel like you may have gotten back together already, or you're on the precipice of it, and you guys figuring things out in a way that's going to end up inciting healing. So let me pull these over to the side. Now, for some of those Geminis who were single, I do see you meeting somebody. Because again, going to the seduction energy, this does not have to be negative at all, right? I mean, it's also flirting and dating, right? Welcoming the one, opening up, right? As you're opening up, you're healing yourself from something that was maybe not so healthy in the past. You're allowing yourself to open up and be attracted to other people. Lots of chemistry there for those Geminis who are single. Okay, so we're going to do past, present, future, final outcome. Okay. That's what I'm talking about right there. Okay. Okay, well, here's the Knight of Cups coming in for the offering in the recent past. Okay. Good. I like some of these reversals are good, guys. Okay. The Five of Swords reverse is good. The Moon reverse is good. I like those better reverse. Queen of Wands. Okay. All right. Let's see. We have Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is, Prince Charming, Princess Charming coming in. This is a proposal of some kind. So this is either meeting somebody who's like, hey, let's go out, or this could certainly be, let's get married, let's have a baby, let's buy a house together, let's go, let's do something. But it seems like that there was some sort of family conflict that was indicated here, or maybe there was one of you, both of you were just very, very lonely. It could be that you were, one of you, both of you were very, very lonely, but it is this idea. Now, for some of you, you might have been experiencing a situation in the recent past where you had a lot of financial issues, right? Where maybe there was some sort of foreclosure situation, or maybe you lost a business, something like that. And that ended up creating conflict within the family. It could be that, but it could also just be indicative of, family being an issue in your situation, and, somebody coming in and proposing something new. That could certainly be it. For those of you who are single, I would say that the Ten of Coins would be a little more indicative of you being really lonely, and then you meeting somebody in the recent past, somebody coming in. But for those of you who are single, let me understand it as that first. Things ended up going sort of out of control for you with this connection, for lack of a better term, bad luck. You ended up feeling kind of like stuck in a rut. You weren't feeling like, maybe you were just very open to meeting somebody new, but you really weren't meeting anybody really brand new that you were really into, or you may have met somebody and you thought things were going a certain way, but as it turns out, they ended up being a very smothering person, very insecure. They may have been struggling with some kind of addiction. Where you were on the, needed to be on the receiving end of that, which you really didn't want to be a part of. Now, I kind of feel like this could be for one of you, meaning those of you who are single or those of you who are partnered, because if this is a situation where there was just a time period where you were experiencing some really bad luck and you guys were just always, stuck in this rut because of a partner's or yours, insecurity, addiction, whatever it is, and it was always this kind of like imbalance and this, issue, right, with the 10 of coins, there could be, in the recent past, there could have been this proposal coming in. Let's do things differently this time. Let's move forward differently than we did. Okay, and then we have in the current energy, we have the Princess of Cups in the reverse and the 10 of Cups upright. So the Princess of Cups in the reverse, this can indicate, first of all, it could obviously indicate a breakup, right? Because cups are emotions, and the reverse can always mean that. It could be that there's dependence, on one. They could be dependent on you. You could be dependent on them, kind of thing. This could also be indicative of immaturity, or dealing with someone's immature, challenging child, right? Whatever age, either yours, theirs, or a child or children that you guys share together. It could mean any of those things, however it would resonate with you. This is a general reading, so I'm giving that to you. But then I see this as a really nice energy to get with that. The 10 of Cups is about family contentment, right? And that total love and support. So while we have this challenge here, right? This either either dependence, this breakup where there was a breakup, or there was these issues with the kids, I do see there being this coming together, right? This coming together of total love and support. So some of you, those of you who are single, maybe this was the breakup and you meeting a new energy where you feel very, very supported right now, right? And then with the 5 of Swords energy, this is indicative in the reverse of a fair fight and peace after trouble, something coming to light, somebody being caught, where this truth is revealed. Gemini, you might be finding out about this truth and you're like, I knew it the whole time, kind of thing. Could certainly be that. For others of you, it's just simply going to be, you being able to have this very fair discussion and being able to find peace after it. And then we have it working with the 9 of Coins energy, which is about financial gain, first of all. So if money was an issue for you guys, you're going to have, finances will be okay. You guys will be more on track financially as a couple. If coins does not have anything to do with your relationship, meaning money, it could have to do with mental, physical, and emotional connection. So really kind of being in this space, though, Gemini, of really paying attention to how you feel in a situation, right? Because the 9 of Coin energy is very much about solo pleasure. So it's about looking at how you feel about a situation and making sure that you're not selling yourself short or selling yourself out in a situation where you may have at one point been more willing to put up with things than you are right now. And now it's like, nope. Whether you are single and you're meeting somebody new, it's like the lines are getting drawn in the sand. If you're in a relationship and you guys had a difficult period, you're getting very in touch with what you're willing to do and not do. But I feel like it's going to be discussed in a very fair way. That's what I see happening right now. Now, in the near future, we have the Fool reverse and we have the Princess of Wands reverse. Okay, so Princess of Wands reverse, again, issues with kids coming up. So obviously that's not going to apply to all of you because not all of you have children, so that would be silly. But maybe one of your kids are having a hard time at school, if they're away at school, or with the homeschooling, something like that, where it ends up being a circumstance, within the relationship, it ends up being an issue there. For others of you, if that has nothing to do with this, One of you or both of you might be handling something very maturely. Gemini, you might be dealing with somebody who's just in one particular area, or even on one particular point, they're rather immature. Maybe they don't want to look at something. They are afraid of their own ego. It could certainly be indicative of that. Or wands are will and passion and motivation and this desire to move forward. So having this in the reverse, and Princess would indicate a new cycle, there is this delay in this new cycle of you guys being able to move forward. So however that would resonate with you, but working with the Fool energy, it does indicate to me there's carelessness. There's a sense of absence here where either you, Gemini, or the person that you're dealing with are just feeling, or at least acting very apathetic and maybe not as prepared to move forward in something as, you know, either you thought you were or they thought they were. And so, you know what I mean? So it's like this carelessness, and the carelessness comes in because I feel like promises were made or plans were discussed. Yeah, this is how it's going to move forward, and it's going to look like this, and we're going to do this, 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 and this. And then when the time comes in the near future to start really rolling things out, now that Mars is going to be at a retrograde and everybody's finally going straight and like, let's go, you know, there might be this sort of, I don't know, kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe not so much. I don't know if I really want to do it in that way. I'm not sure. So that could be creating the delay. The feeling of apathy could be because somebody is aggravated because of what's needing to be dealt with, having to do with some sort of family situation. That could all definitely be going on. But whatever it is, the moon reverse indicates to me that there's going to be a sense of clarity and a truth being revealed. Now, Gemini, you guys are very tapped in and tuned in and turned on right now. The veil is super thin right now, right, for Geminis, right? Yours are the north node of the moon. We have all this energy with Mercury. Mercury's your ruler, right? So you pay attention to your dreams. I know a lot of you are like, I never dream, or I don't remember anything, or make, you know, it's like, you know, a donkey with the top hat on. I don't know what the hell that means, kind of thing. But those of you who do dream a lot, you know, and you know who I'm talking about. It depends where Pisces is in your chart, right? But the truth is coming out. For some of you, it's going to come to you through an epiphany or through a dream. Others of you, it's going to come out in the 3D through somebody. And then we have the Eight of Coins in the reverse. So the Eight of Coins in the reverse is repairing something here, okay? But the thing is, there's this element of perfectionism that's involved. You know, there's this lack of focus. There's this lack of ambition. But yet there is this need to fix something and work on something within the relationship. But then when it comes down to the wire of, you know, having to do the work, there may be, you may not feel as motivated to do what's necessary to actually make something work in the way that was discussed, you know. And I feel like it could be because of a number of things going on. I don't feel like it's because there's a lack of wanting to be with somebody per se. It's just, well, first of all, a lot of you guys might be very, very busy, first of all. But I feel like there's going to be this necessary need to blend, right? And I'm saying this because the Jupiter conjunct Pluto in Capricorn in the 8th house of coming together as a we energy rather than just being a me energy. And sometimes, guys, that means like stepping out of our comfort zone and needing to show up in a way that may not be even like a terribly tall order to fill, but you may not be into it, or you may not have the mental capacity to deal with it right now because of other responsibilities going on in your life. Because, you know, we do have Mars stationing direct in Aries in your 11th house of goals. So you might be super focused on work or super focused on one thing. And then the relationship area, what's necessary, what's being called upon you, you may just be like, oh, do I really have to? You know, some of you are going to be resonating with, I know a lot of you aren't going to like that I'm saying that, but that is what I'm getting from the cards. Even those of you who are single and you're meeting somebody, it might be this kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I want to be with somebody, definitely. I want to be able to hang out with somebody and watch movies and just keep company and have, all of that cool stuff. But then when it comes down to the minutia of the relationship, where you push to this precipice where you have to show up in a particular way, you may be rather apathetic about it, where you're not sure, right? Not saying that you don't want it, but you may not be sure. So we have the Five of Cups in the reverse. Does indicate a moving on from something, forgiveness, hope returning, recovery, getting back out there. Really kind of like a getting back out there, but it's just a moving on of forgiveness, hope returning. So for some of you, if there was a situation in a relationship, this could be moving on out of the relationship. This could be moving on into a space of forgiveness. Obviously, you're going to know which way it's going to end up hitting you, but you're definitely going to be at cross purposes for a minute, right? As the Two of Swords does indicate that it's a time to compromise and it's a time to make a decision. Gemini. Absolutely. You guys are Gemini, you guys are the Lover's card, right? And what is the Lover's card? Is the need. You guys are the need to make a decision in love, right? It's the need to make a decision in love. And we have this working with the Queen of Wands and the World. The World in the reverse. I want to tell you, this is about an unfinished lesson. It's some sort of delay, some sort of unfinished lesson, and we have it working with the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is feeling very confident, very feisty, very self-assured, feeling very out there. Willing to put yourself out there, but there is this unfinished lesson that needs addressing. So for those of you in this cross-purpose space of, needing to make the decision, it does seem like something that needs forgiveness or something that needs open-hearted understanding is not finished yet in your life. And there does need to be this idea of healing, so that we could turn the world right side up, because we always have the ability to do that. And when we turn the world right side up, that's about a completion of a lesson. And then we get those beautiful Saturn blessings. And yeah, I say Saturn blessings because Saturn is the World card. It's about having gone through so much, but you got to stick it out a little bit if you want it. If you don't want it, then you just move on healthily. But make sure, for those Geminis who are going to be moving on and not sticking with the situation, make sure that you're very honest with yourself about what lesson needed to be learned from that situation, and really move forward with that. Move forward with that, because then you can turn this right side up, and you want to do that. You want to bring yourself a completed lesson, in a situation. Yeah. Okay, so let me just pull 3 heart cards, heart oracles, and then we'll go into career. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. Yeah, kind of vibing that. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to your soul, to the soul. So something might not look like it makes sense on paper or out loud, but you may still feel a certain way. You got to really look at what you're feeling. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed at this very moment. Okay, listen. Emotional time, Gemini. Emotional time in relationship, it does seem. If you're single, if I feel like, unless nobody's, obviously these are general messages, and I'm sure there are plenty of Geminis who've been single for a long time. So put it in context, guys. But the energy that I'm getting here is that many of you were very challenged in a relationship where it made you need to show up in ways that were not very comfortable for you. And you started to question whether you even wanted to be in it or not. Some of you may have left it already. You didn't want to deal, you know, and maybe not dealing is the right thing. That was the right answer for you, right? But the key here is make sure that you understand that lesson before you move forward completely, because you don't want to repeat the same lessons, you know? You don't want that. All right. So, Gemini, that is what I have for relationship. Let's get into career. I'm going to pull the Lenormand for the crownings. I'm going to lay the land for what's happening with career. Just turn these right side up. Yeah, so I mean, we have stuff going on again in that 6th house, day-to-day work environment, 11th house of goals. So let's see. Oh, hello, something's over. And Mars is in the house as he stations direct in Aries, in that 11th house of your goals and wishes. And there are some obstacles that, oops, sorry, I just knocked it over. Sorry, I hope you guys didn't get dizzy with that one. Okay. We have obstacles. That's what the mountain is, right? Needing to get over obstacles. And let's see what your compass energy is as your true north. Let's see what you need to do. Okay, and we have, ooh, looking at your creativity. All right, one more. Oh, but time is ticking. Okay. Coffin. Let me just pull one more. Gemini, I feel like something is coming into you, downloading like mad quick. From the other side, from, again, either somebody who has passed, something is coming, some sort of message is coming in that something needs to be over. We have 2 ending energies here, but specifically what the cross is about redemption. The cross is about you needing for however long or whatever situation is going on in your career, Gemini. It's like you have had to pay the price for either someone maybe you were working with for their irresponsible behavior, their nonsense, or maybe you know, some sort of red tape, bureaucratic BS that went on in the industry that you were involved in, or whatever it was, right? In order for you to be redeemed, and in order for you to do something that you're going to be successful in order for you to have this new path and this fresh perspective in your career, you have to end something the way that you've been doing it. You have to end it to have redemption, because this is the Christ consciousness energy, right? Like Christ died on the cross for our sins, right, as it goes, so we could be redeemed, right? And so that is the energy of needing to end something as it is so that there can be this redemption and this grabbing onto this Mars energy into your future, which is about, again, that Aries energy, fresh path, a new perspective. It's like the Emperor in Tarot, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. There are going to be some challenges, but what is your true north, Gemini, is something creative. I mean, your true north is something creative. There's no question. We have the child here. So for some of you, it could have something to do with children, quite literally. Maybe you're going to be getting into teaching, which is awesome, you know, teaching kids or having something to do with kids, maybe a child psychologist, anything like that. And I say that only because we do have all of this Scorpio energy in the 6th house of the day-to-day, right? And Scorpio does rule, like Scorpio is the energy of the detective, of the psychologist, right? So, you know, having it being with the kid, with the child here, maybe it's that. But this is 5th house energy, which, you know, Leo's the landlord of the 5th house. So this is about tapping into your creativity, doing something that really, really speaks to you, that you love. This could have to do with opening your own business or doing something, just some sort of new creative project. But when we have the cuckoo clock. The clock is a ticking. The clock is ticking. So something definitely needs to be ended. And I feel like you're getting this message in just so loud and clear. So loud and clear. So for those gems who've been thinking about doing something in a different way, in a new way, a way that would end up inciting your creativity, I mean, it's all here. It's all here. I wouldn't be afraid of the mountains here. I wouldn't be afraid of that, because you see, you know, the elk here is going to go and just, right, climb up and then climb down, right? It just means it's going to be a little challenging, but this is the right path. That whatever it is that you're thinking about getting into is the right thing for you right now. So for those of you who are looking for some energetic validation, some sort of new project that you have going on, I do like it. I like the owls. The owls are great. That's wisdom. That's you getting some sort of very wise message coming in, which is awesome. And again, that could come in the form of some sort of epiphany, just some sort of idea, Gemini, that just falls together for you. Like, you know, you've been sort of, it's almost like you've been incubating something. Incubating is a good word for what I'm feeling. It's like you've been cooking something, right? Oh, look, and we got the Emperor. In large and in charge, right? That's an Aries energy, ruled by Mars. This is in the recent past. Okay, yeah. You may be waiting, though. You might be waiting to hear some sort of news. You know, we're in such a weird time right now. I know I keep saying that, but I know a lot of us feel like we're in this weird space of like waiting. It's like, okay, now what? You know, like what's going to happen next? It's like waiting for nothing and everything all at the same time, right? Just feeling these weird changes. I'm sure we'll know the results of whatever the elections are here in the States by the time of this, but I'm doing this actually on election day. So I don't know what's going to roll out with that, but if that matters. But to you guys out there. So we have the Emperor energy, meaning the High Priestess reverse. So the High Priestess reverse tells me that in the recent past, Gemini, when it comes to money in your career, there was some clouded insight. There was some blocked intuition. Now that blocked intuition certainly could have been because you were afraid, because you weren't sure, you know, if you were able to, well, that would be the same thing, but like if you could literally do it, like if this idea was literally able to happen in your life, because the Emperor is about leadership and about planning, strategic planning, and you might have been in this space where it's just like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know, you know, and you know, with Mercury as your ruler and Mercury having been retrograde in such heavy energies, so, you know, a Scorpio and then Libra, you know, it's not surprising to me that you were probably in that space. And we had that working with the Six of Cups in reverse. And the Six of Cups in reverse does indicate living in the past. You might have had unrealistic expectations about something in the past. Maybe you were experiencing some sort of like, maybe you were a little naive when it came to, you know, how you could move forward in a certain arena or in a certain way, having to do with money or having to do with career. You know, that often is indicated with the Six of Cups in reverse when we're talking about career. But then we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords does indicate to me some sort of lifestyle change. So there could be some conflict here, because whenever the Knight of Swords can indicate a fast-talking somebody coming in, there being some sort of conflict, and then there being a lifestyle change. So what does that mean? That could be, you know, having an argument with your boss and losing your job. Having an argument with people at work and quitting your job. Having words or having a sense of discord with people at work and deciding at least that this is not the right path for you and for you to incite some change. But I see you inciting change for yourself here. There's no question. You know, and however it rolled out, it's going to be different for each of you. Now, in the current situation, we have the Eight of Wands in the upright and the Moon energy. So the Eight of Wands in the upright, in the reverse rather, is about frustration, right? I mean, it's like problems, delays, waiting for something to come in, waiting for that call to come in, waiting for something to happen, waiting for the shoe to drop, kind of thing. All right, I don't mean to laugh. You guys know I'm a Gemini sun, but it's just kind of this, energy. I think that many people, no matter where you have Gemini in your chart, people are feeling it, in that area. I just, dealing with a lot of you in the way that I do, definitely seems like that. And then we have the Moon energy here, which is about unseen problems and voluntary changes and feeling pushed to trust your intuition. But as I always say with the Moon energy, the Moon energy rules the Cancer, right? And Cancer is that fourth house of the stories that we tell ourselves. And so we always want to make sure that when we're in the process of trying to trust our intuition and our inner voice, that we are looking at something through very clear lenses and not rose-colored glasses and not any sort of false narratives that we might be telling ourselves, right? We just want to make sure that we're really being very, very honest with ourselves. But you might be feeling certain things, right? And waiting for something, this frustration that you're not actually even talking about, Gemini. You might not even be talking to anybody about these frustrations that you're experiencing in delays right now. We have the Seven of Wands energy that's working with the Hangman. Yeah, so the Seven of Wands, you might be feeling in a space of being very self-defensive, protecting against the competition. If there's competition in your marketplace, in your workplace, however that would end up rolling out for you. But the Seven of Wands very much is like drawing a line in the sand, right? I always look at it like that, right? Because this is it's a Mars and Leo energy. So it's like, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I desire, and really sticking to your guns in that way, right? But we have this working with the Hangman. So the thing here, because it's working with the Hangman, which is about trying to get a different perspective and experiencing an element of self-sacrifice, you might be in this space of trying to become more wise about what it actually is that you want, need, and desire. So you kind of might have a very vague image in your mind's eye, but then maybe you're not sure of how to actually execute it in the 3D, or you're not sure of all of the steps that have to be taken, or you're doubting if you're going to be able to do it. There's this element of, waiting. First of all, the Hangman is about pressing the pause button, right? So you might be in the process of figuring out exactly what it is that you need. And again, not surprised with the Mars stationing direct in your 11th house of goals. Because in order to move forward with that fresh path, fresh path with the new perspective, you have to really figure out what it is that you want, that works for you. And then we have the Queen of Wands reverse and the Ace of Pentacles reverse. The Ace of Pentacles reverse is can be indicative in the near future of greed. You might be feeling a little greedy. You might be dealing with debt, Gemini. You might not be going into debt. You might not be greedy. You just might be stressing about money. You could be dealing with somebody who's very greedy, somebody who is in debt in your life where it ends up inflicting you. But there could be the stress of money having to do, or not getting that job, or something not going the way that you initially really wanted it to go. And then we have this working with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So again, back to the feeling of apathy. There can be, you just might not be into something the way that you were. You might feel kind of cold, kind of angry and aggressive towards your career or about money. Or you could be dealing with somebody who's like this. You could be dealing with somebody who's just very unmotivated, maybe a business partner, people at work, somebody who's just like they don't have any fire in their belly, or you might just be super bored in what it is that you're doing, You just might be super bored, and yet you're putting the lines out there, but nobody's biting just yet about getting a new job, something like that. But you feel like you don't belong in whatever it is that you're in anymore, right? That's exactly what the Eight of Swords means. It's kind of like, I always call it, your shoes being on the wrong feet. This is very self-imposed isolation, self-imposed restrictions, self-imposed imprisonment in your mind, where something that worked for you at one time just doesn't work for you anymore. It just really doesn't, Yeah. And the Page of Cups in reverse does indicate you leaving something. Now, this could also indicate either you being immature, Gemini, when it comes to work, or you dealing with some sort of level of immaturity in the workplace. You know, or this could be the idea that you're very dependent on your work, even though you really want to leave it. Others of you, you're literally just going to be leaving it. You're just going to be leaving whatever it is that you're doing. However it resonates with you. Because some of you might be thinking, I'm going to leave this job, but you really, really can't, right? Because you're very dependent on it, but you don't feel like it's fitting you anymore, right? And then we have in the near future, well, good. We do have the World reverse here, which is good. This is about completing a lesson. It's about moving forward, getting those fabulous Saturn lessons. We have the Three of Cups in reverse, though. So what does this tell me? Listen, Gemini, you might be dealing with a lot of gossipy stuff going on in the workplace, irresponsible behavior in the workplace, people not handling things in a responsible manner. You're just generally feeling very unsupported. And then when we have the World, it's like, all right, lesson learned, you know. And then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Wands in reverse is dealing with somebody who's kind of like chaotic, kind of impulsive when it comes to money or career. And again, this doesn't have to only do with career. This can have to do with money. And then we have the Three of Wands in reverse, which indicates very much a lack of planning, and there being setbacks and delays and not having foresight in something and being able to move forward in something. But there is this idea of delay. There is this idea of someone acted impulsive, there's some kind of chaotic energy here. So, I mean, Gemini, like, don't quit your job if you can't just yet. Don't leave something until you have your ducks in a row. If this is the kind of energy that's going on, you want to make sure that whatever you're stepping into, you're doing it with clarity. Because this is the thing. When Mars stations direct in Aries, okay, Aries is the baby of the zodiac. They are, from an astrological perspective, the most immature energy. No shade on Aries. It just, they are. Pisces is the oldest, Aries is the youngest, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Mars being that warrior planet in there, it's like, I want what I want when I want it, when I want it, and I want it to be a certain way. And while that is not typically a Geminian trait, I do feel like, because you guys have this heavy Mars station direct in your 11th house of goals, it's like you're so flippin' tired of waiting. You're so sick and tired of things needing to work their way out, and the waiting and the waiting and the waiting, that you're just like losing your patience already. And my advice here is definitely get your ducks in a row, plan, but don't do anything too flippant that's going to end up inciting some sort of change that maybe, you know, you're not ready for in your wallet, or you're not ready for emotionally, whatever it is. But the fact that we have the World, I like that, because ultimately whatever's going to happen here, it's the most positive card in the deck. It's like that's Saturn, meaning you have gone through the roughest part. Now it's time for things to lighten up. Despite the negative energies here, the World lightens up the entire deck. Whatever you're going through here, it's just going to be for a minute. Remember, this is only for the second week. But the World energy is a major arcana, and this is going to last for longer. Okay. So let's just pull some astrology cards. Let's see what we have. Yes, Uranus. Surprise is coming in. Some sort of surprise coming in. We have Sagittarius. Good. Sagittarius is that 9th house. Then we have the 4th house of home. So the 4th house is opposite. It's the descendant from the 10th house. So I feel like whatever decisions you end up making in work is definitely going to directly impact what's going on in your home life. Okay, because that's what happens when there's opposition. There could be some sort of tension there. But I see this really awesome, like something coming in, surprise, idea, whatever it is, that's going to push you into your future. And I like what Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So I like this because we do have the Jupiter conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn is all about ruling work. So I feel like some sort of surprises coming in having to do with work that may create some sort of tension within your home life. Maybe you have to travel, maybe you have to move, maybe you have to work from home differently, or maybe you're working from home, something like that. Ascendant. So funny. I was just talking about ascendant and descendant. Outlook, worldview, mission statement, your attitude, point of view, approach, your first impression about something. Okay. It's your outlook. Focus on your outlook. Focus on the worldview, the bigger picture. The bigger picture. Eighth house, endings and beginnings. Wow. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is right where it's happening for you. Jupiter conjunct Pluto and Capricorn, eighth house energy. That's it. Endings and beginnings. Scorpio's the landlord, Pluto's the ruler. There's change happening here. There's big transformation, but it's going to be a good thing for you, because with Jupiter is going to be working on integrating with Pluto, which is about the transformation in Capricorn, which rules work. So I see it going very well for you guys ultimately. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have those mountains. You are going to have the mountains. That's okay. Big deal. Right? But I do see you getting past that. So yeah. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.